Many right-wingers like to claim that homosexuality is unnatural. The implications are that homosexuality is unnatural and therefore bad. This particularly charming argument is commonly made by both the fanatically religious and sometimes even by confused non-believers. Notable people to use this argument include a former Iranian Prime Minister, American actor Kirk Cameron, and a horde of forgettable Christian fundamentalists. I think that it is important to attack this rather flawed argument for two reasons. Firstly, this is a very dangerous argument to make, as it implies that there is something wrong with homosexuals. This inevitably leads to harm against them. A good example of this real-world harm is the death penalty that homosexuals in Iran face. And secondly, I want to disprove this argument because the people who make it are all insufferably smug pieces of trash who have absolutely no idea what they are talking about. I have 3 points to offer, each of which adequately counters this argument and reveals the stupidity of whoever is using it. Somehow, the homosexuality is unnatural argument succeeds at being a fallacy, factually wrong, and a very hypocritical thing to be saying. Now finally, I will lay out my counterpoints. Point 1. The appeal to nature fallacy. This argument is based off of a logical fallacy. To be specific, the appeal to nature fallacy. The appeal to nature fallacy claims that something is good or bad based upon whether it is natural or unnatural, with natural being good and unnatural being bad. This is very bad reasoning. Good things can be natural. Examples of natural things that are good include emotions such as empathy and pleasure, along with obvious things such as food and water. Bad things can also be natural, such as murder and rape, both of which the natural world is rife with. The same thing goes for unnatural. Good things can be unnatural, such as modern medicine and modern infrastructure. Bad things can also be unnatural, such as pollution and nuclear weapons. The argument in question is a logical fallacy. This means that it makes no sense and can be dismissed immediately. Point 2. Factually incorrect. If the argument being a fallacy was not already embarrassing enough, it gets worse. The homosexuality is unnatural argument is factually incorrect. For something to be natural, it must occur in nature, free from humanity and human influence. Homosexuality or same-sex attraction, ranging from affection to sex, does occur in nature, free from humanity and free from human influence. In fact, it is very common. Social species, including mammals, fish, some reptiles, and many birds, commonly exhibit homosexual behaviors, including both affection and sex. Notable animals that exhibit homosexual behavior include lions, buffalo, elephants, and most primates, along with many others. Homosexuality is commonly exhibited in every great ape closely related to human beings. Homosexuality is natural as it occurs free from humanity in the natural world and is very common. The argument in question is not only a fallacy, but is also factually incorrect, making it a very, very stupid argument. Perhaps the best part of this is that homosexuality is very common in animals, while homophobia and discrimination against homosexuals is non-existent. It appears that homophobia is the unnatural thing after all. Point 3. Hypocrisy. Generally speaking, people who use the homosexuality as unnatural failure of an argument use it because it is convenient for pushing their bigoted views. They do not actually care about doing the natural thing, whatever that would be. They wear unnatural clothing and use a great deal of other unnatural man-made goods because it makes their lives better. They attack people over something that they do not even care about. The argument in question is not only a fallacy and factually incorrect, it is also excessively hypocritical. The people who make it enjoy unnatural goods every day. These goods afford these people a quality of life that simply would not exist in a natural human existence. The homosexuality as unnatural argument is so obscenely low IQ that its very existence becomes offensive. Not just because it is insulting in a meaning sense, but also because it is so weak anyone making it must expect their opponent to be very poor competition. Because this argument is so weak yet so common, and not to mention very dangerous, I assign each of you a duty. If you hear someone make this argument, use any of the above points to solve the matter. We ought to wipe this disgrace of an argument from existence.